Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. We are in season 4 here, week number 3. Gentlemen, how are you? A lot of exciting stuff going on. What's happening? All the games from week 1 have been played and one from week 2. How y'all feeling?
Man, it's feeling good. I'm feeling good. We're 2-0, so I'm happy.
That's it.
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, I feel energized. I mean, we got some rain. We got some rain down here, and we got some much needed rest. Because there was no kids sports or anything. So yeah, I'm hyped. Let's do it. It's a Philly thing, right? It's a Philly thing, right, Mike?
That's what it says. Okay, it's a Philly thing.
Yeah. Turn your glasses. Yeah, clean your glasses. You'll be all right.
I'm fine. I was wondering if you knew what it said.
He's saying
I know exactly what it says.
Nothing finer than being a 49er.
Yeah, check out Mike. So nothing finer than a 49. Man, Mike.
Actually, that's Sal's word. Sal's one of his intros.
Oh, nothing finer than a 49.
That's right, from a while back, man. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, what up, everybody? Thanks for joining us today. We are in, as I said, believe it or not, it's already starting fast, man, here. It's week number 3 here. We're glad to be back as usual. Connect with us on any of the social media platforms. You can also email us, enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. We are the Enough Said Crew, coming at you every week at 11 o'clock here. So we're glad to be with you all today. And feel free to chat with us in the room. Also, keep it clean, as always. So we are a family-friendly show. So just a reminder to do that as well. But even though sometimes Jermaine gets a little crazy, but it is a family show. Jermaine, I mean, come on. When you start eating those carrot cupcakes, you never know what happens. That's all I'm saying.
Crazy one we got to censor.
24 ice cream sandwiches.
Never let it down. Jesus. I mean, gotta watch what I tell my stories to.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder with these intros. You guys, you're still holding back on. You guys are holding back on.
Hold your tongue when Sal is on. That's for sure.
I think Dre got the FCC violation last episode.
Yes, I did.
Yes, right.
Got the fine in the mail.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Go ahead, bud.
No, I was just joking.
Okay.
It was a 4-letter word, but
Oh man. Jermaine, today's number is number 3, by the way. Number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah. That's what we're going with today.
Number 3. All right. Well, yeah, it's game number 3 in the NFL. That's the only thing I could think of. You know what I mean? So,
good answer.
Yeah.
Well, it's game 2, but
oh, it is game. Oh yeah, you're right.
Philadelphia already played,
but
that's why I said good answer.
I hear you though. But for week, it's 3, and it's the teams that have started 0-2. Only 3 of them have won the Super Bowl. So that could be the Kansas City Chiefs if they lose this week, and some other teams as well that are in there. Could be the Buffalo Bills, dude. Could be the Buffalo Bills. So, only 3 times has a team ever started 0-2 and won the Super Bowl in NFL history. So
the Cowgirls won it, right? They was one of the teams, right? Did they
I believe so. 95. No,
okay.
95. Maybe it was a little earlier, but
that was when Emmitt Smith. That's when Emmitt Smith held out, and then that's when Charles Haley. I remember that Charles Haley went the hell off. He's like, sign this man right now, and then that's what happened. So
yeah. So we'll see if Chiefs lose this week, which I doubt they're going to lose this week. But if they do, they could be one of the teams in that boat. Andy Reid could be on the hot seat. No, we're not going to Andy Reid.
I don't know about
So all right, so we're gonna go through it. So we'll start off with the Eagles recap, and then I have a quick game at the end. It's called Real Steel or an Achilles Heel. So we'll talk about those guys at the end.
Cool.
So.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll talk about that at the end. All right. So let's start with the Eagles because they've already played, obviously, Thursday night. They are now 2-0. Has not been pretty, but it is 2-0. Let's start out. Dre, what do you got?
So recap from actually week 1 and week 2. Both games were, a little rough. Offensively, trying to get the passing game together, excuse me, is somewhat a concern when we saw from week 1. And then week 2, we went to the run game, and the run game worked very well against the Vikings. And offensively again, we still were struggling. So to me, as I was looking at the game, fan of the game, to me, it might be the gelling with the offensive coordinator, because we have a new offensive coordinator in Johnson. And I felt that hopefully, I'm happy that we're 2-0 with the growing pains that we're having on the offensively side, trying to get the ball to Goddard, trying to get the ball to both our receivers, and then Jalen just a little off. So hopefully that'll give them a break. If they already played Thursday, they can really regroup. And defensively, my last thing was say defensively, I like the front. The front looks really good. We saw how against the Vikings, Sweat was getting to Kirk Cousins, and even Fletcher Cox was rejuvenated. He was doing some good plays as well. Even the fact that we didn't have other guys, like we lost Maddox, we lost Bradbury. Slade was doing his best against Justin Jefferson. So yeah, I'm happy with 2-0.
All right, Jermaine, Hurts so far looking good.
This is what I'm going to say, guys. All right, just listen up. All right.
Oh no.
Oh.
Listen to that. Okay, yeah. Yes. Listen to the mic falling. Okay.
All right, man. We're having
this is all
a wardrobe malfunction
this is all
here.
Messed up, boys. Yeah. I guess this is going to be on the. Yeah.
It's live, Jermaine. Yeah.
Now I got some material for the intros.
Relax.
Hey, listen. All right. So yeah, that kind of blew up in my face. But listen. All right, we're like Dre said, we're 2-0. Okay, we're 2-0. We're averaging in these two games 30 points a game. All right, at least close to 30 points a game. All right. It's called what I see, and this is my opinion. It's called growing pains with these coordinators. All right, everybody's got to get to know one another. Everybody's got to get to know one another. So by the time, say about game 5, game 6, if we're still doing this nonsense, and you know what I mean, with these two games, the two teams had a combined of 8 turnovers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of a concern, that those two teams, the Vikings and the Patriots, are turning over the ball. What if they didn't turn over the ball? So that's a slight concern for me. Mm-hmm. If they didn't turn the ball over, would we be 0-2 instead of 2-0? But the bottom line is, like I said, we're 2-0. I feel as though, like I said, Jalen's got to get to know the new offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator's got to get his feet wet. We're fine. Aaron Rodgers' voice, RELAX, relax. All right. We had this thing on the sideline, with A.J. Brown. We don't know. We don't know what the whole deal is or what the whole situation is and whatnot. And we don't know if it's actually been cleaned up or it's actually going to be a headache going forward. We don't know. All we can see is going forward, if it is going to be one, okay, we got a problem. If it's not, they're going to clean this up. But I feel as though A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts has a close relationship. They're going to iron this thing out. They're going to iron this thing out. It's a competitive game. Everybody has a whole bunch of egos and everything, but we're fine, Sal. We're fine, guys. Dre, we're fine. We're fine, man. I'm not concerned because
I know we're fine.
Yeah, if you're going to sit up there, and rush 3 and drop 8, okay, well, common sense is going to tell you, okay, we'll run the ball. Anybody's going to run the ball. Me, you could run through those holes and whatnot if you're going to rush 3 and drop 8, Mm-hmm. So, and then everybody's this is a passing league. No, the bottom line is you win the game. Either by all means necessary. How you figure it out, you win the game. It's not about passing and all this stuff. It's what you're going to do is win the game, and what you're going to do is going to put it to the end. I mean, how is it going to get you to the end? How is it going to get you to the Super Bowl? So, I mean, if they got to go back old school, and AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts can't get it together, so be it. We're winning. It's just what the bottom line is. We're winning.
You play to win the game. That's it.
Hello. What Herm Edwards said.
Nothing better than being a 49er. Eagles scaring you, Mike? After week one?
No. Not scaring me. But I agree with what everybody's saying. Look, 2-0, it's hard to win in this league. And, you got to take the wins when you can. Last year they were kind of blowing out some teams, and so it looked a little easier. And this year it's a little rougher, but they still got a good core unit, and that's what helps them pull through. If I had any concerns, I would say Jalen Hurts just needs to maybe protect himself a little better. That New England game when he had to fumble towards the end, that was kind of a square up hit. And I know he's a big guy, but you got to start dialing some of that back a little bit. You don't want to get hurt out the game. You can see what happens to this team when he's not playing. So he's got to make sure he stays in the game. And then that defense, I think the D-line is still strong. I saw a lot of pressure. Back end, the linebackers and the secondary's got some injuries. There's a little concern there. It did seem like Minnesota in particular had a little bit of a way of moving the ball, maybe a little easier than I would have expected. And New England had it too, but the Vikings in particular, and they got Justin Jefferson. But that the tight end was really kind of eating them up pretty good, Hawkinson, and I think that kind of speaks to linebacker depth and coverage. But every team's got their vulnerabilities. It is what it is, but hell, 2-0 can't go wrong with that. Keep stacking your wins, no matter how you get them.
A lot of that, I feel as though a lot of it is preseason. Nobody hasn't played in the preseason. Nobody hasn't been hit.
I agree with that.
In the season, now all of a sudden this is considered, the preseason. You know what I mean? Nobody did not play, and I feel as though that's just a wrong thing for any team. And I don't know, Mike. I don't know if the 49ers played in the preseason. At least get what, 5 or 6 plays in to just get your feet wet, just to get hit. To say, all right, I feel good now. Let's move on.
Right.
Philly didn't do anything. That's why all these injuries are piling up. I never heard of 3 or 4 rib injuries in my life. That's like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
that's just how I feel. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's 2-0, like you said, guys. It's a win. Obviously, areas of concern are the ones that I mentioned before, right? Linebacker. Now, I know they were hurt this week. They got some linebackers out, and I mentioned safety. I know they had a safety out, but they did get torn up pretty good in the middle on both games, especially the second one last week. So, that's a concern. And then special teams. Covey almost coughs one up again.
Can they please find somebody else, please? I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Every team's got their weakness, right?
This man, he has a straight line. He has a straight line. He does not do a cut or anything. Why the hell is he still on this team?
Why is he assigned? Why is he assigned? We got 53 or 52-man roster, whatever you want to call it, and you can't find nobody else?
Put Boston Scott back there, because Boston Scott was back there at one point. You know what I mean? I mean, Covey, didn't they cut him, Sal, and then they bring him back?
They did, and he was on the practice squad too, and they decided to bring him back. So I don't get it. There's got to be somebody else that's got to be better than that.
And the special teams in the second
Devin
game,
Hester back. Jesus,
was it the second game? I'm trying to remember. The special teams did do something. They had a positive towards getting. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was that Detroit or was that Minnesota?
Well, I mean, they had a 61-yard field goal. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
But I thought they recovered.
That actually made a difference in the game.
They recovered the fumble from the Minnesota Vikings when they hit him. That was special teams did that.
When is the last time we had a kickoff return, or even let alone a punt return for a touchdown?
Brutal.
When is the last time?
Brutal.
What is Darren Sproles? I mean, come on. It's just it's crazy,
bad.
man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But the 61 field goal, Jake Elliott looked like he's. I wasn't really a big Jake Elliott fan, but now he seems like, he's got a leg. 61-yard field goal. Yeah.
That was a big change in the game because he went from
it
fumble with Justin Jefferson to turn around and getting some points and getting, I think it was a 10-point lead at the time.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, let that go in the corner of the end zone there, that's a different game. I mean,
definitely.
That and turnovers. That's just a biggie right there. You know what I mean? Those turnovers. We don't, like I said, if we didn't have those turnovers, this whole game, we'd all be ugly.
Let's talk about that though a little bit.
Turnovers here.
Let's talk about that a little bit. You guys like that rule of the ball being a touchback in the end zone like that if it gets loose? You guys like that?
What I don't like is where you kick it off from, and then also it's not the 20 when they start, when it goes out. They start on the 25, right, or something.
Yes.
So I don't like that at all. I don't. I know it's supposed to be for concussion protocol and all that safety, but to me, just get rid of kickoff. I don't think it needs to be. It's pointless to me.
Well, I was talking, Dre, that too, but I was talking about specifically Justin Jefferson with the rule where it gets a touchback if you lose it in the end zone like that. You don't have possession.
Oh, that's to me. Yeah, that was a touchback. Yeah. I say keep that rule.
You keep that
rule? I don't have a problem.
Honestly, I don't know what you change it to. I mean, what is just a fumble and you get the ball? What at the 1 yard line? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
that's just telling the player exactly, Mike. I was going to say that. That's telling the player you hold on to the ball no matter what. Yeah. If you can't catch it, you can't catch it. But if you're going to do that and try to reach for it and you mess that up, then you weren't thinking.
Hold the player accountable. The player accountable. That's it.
I say, Sal, keep the rule.
Yeah, sloppy. Yeah, that's just sloppy. That's all.
Because of course everybody all over X was crying about it, and I was like, and even Jefferson got up and he went like this. He's like, "It's me. It's my fault. I know I got to hang on to the ball."
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
So
my thing is that all right, you're not going to reach it, and it could be a possibility that you fumble the ball. Get down at the 1 yard line. I mean, what's the percentage of you getting in the end zone anyway?
Right.
Because you're that close. So stop trying to be greedy. So that's it.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So we talked about the Eagles a little bit. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, because I had him, guys, as my bust for the year. Now, certainly I didn't wish him any bad luck. Didn't hope that he gets hurt or anything. But now, of course, he could be coming back at the end of the season, they're saying now, with some new type of surgery, and he's going to try to come back for the playoffs. Enough with this guy, or what do you guys think?
Unless it's an AI coming in the place of Aaron Rodgers, this man is not coming back. I mean, you're 40 years old, and this is the doctor that did Kobe Bryant's thing. But how old was Kobe Bryant when he tore his Achilles? You know what I mean? You're looking at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers on that interview, when I was like, man, you look dead to the world, honestly. And you're talking about, I'll be back for the playoffs. No, you won't. Not at 40 years old. I mean, your body over 40 or whatever, it tends to heal differently as you get older. That's just my opinion. I mean, Jesus. You're talking about you coming back for the playoffs. And who's to say you're going to make the playoffs?
Right.
Now you're out. Yeah. What do you think? That would have been my question if I was a reporter. Who's to say you're going to make the playoffs?
Zach Wilson.
I mean, hey, man, the Jets. I guess Aaron Rodgers like, look, you're never going to say that. Of course, I'm going to go to the playoffs.
Okay.
So they signed Carson Wentz as a backup?
Oh, they did?
No, do they?
Oh, do they? No.
Hell no.
No, not right now.
I'll sign Flacco before I sign Wentz.
I'll sign anybody else besides him.
I'll sign Flacco before all that. I mean, Flacco knows the offense and all that stuff. It's pretty Flacco, and Flacco knows how to get the ball to Garrett Wilson. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's a deep threat and stuff. So, yeah.
If Ryan Fitzpatrick comes out of retirement, I'll let him play.
Flag attack. Flag attack.
I want to say real quick about Rodgers and this whole thing with his Achilles. Again, it kind of feels like it's classic Aaron Rodgers again, right? The drama queen that has to have something out there. So now he's put it out there that it's possible he could be back at the end of the season. So now there's going to be an Aaron Rodgers watch, trying to find out how's he recovering, how's he this, how's he that. What are the Jets doing? Are they getting ready for Rodgers to come back? It's just creates more drama and more distraction again. Like, go away. You got hurt. Come back next season if you really are.
Go to your dark hole.
But don't put it there that you're gonna make some superhero comeback now that everyone's gonna want to watch and see how you're doing. That that is more talk and more distraction.
100% on that, Mike. Yeah.
Go away. You got
hurt. Zach Wilson throws interception. Man, Aaron Rodgers need to hurry up and get back. Instead of just for sure he can't come back.
Right. Got to go to rush him back. And it's like, look, you said that you're gonna make it for the playoffs. Can you make it back by week 16, week 17?
Just go sit back in your
be on Pat
room.
McAfee show talking about Achilles. It's like, if you take a look at this, you can see where it's healing here. And it's just like, man,
that's a nice spin, Mike. Because he's a diva. He's a diva. And it's all about him.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, distractions again.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
So, is their defense, the Jets? Speaking of the Jets, can the defense hold enough for Zach Wilson to get them to the playoffs?
No. Yes.
No.
From what I know, it's only against the Bills, but they showed me that they can probably run with the defense this year.
This is not the Baltimore defense of old.
I'm not saying it's that level.
I'm just saying, but the defense is not going to hold. I mean, I feel as though they just been, don't get me wrong. It's a good defense. It is. It's a good defense, but I don't think they're going to hold. I don't think they are. Yeah, that's just my. That's my opinion. They'll have good games here and there.
Playoff. I think it's possible. I don't think they can go all the way because you got to have offense.
Yes.
When you got to score. You can have a great defense, but you got to put up points. And if they can't score, they can only go so far.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Chicago Ravens, they had no offense.
Yeah.
Chicago had no offense.
I mean, they had. Yeah, I mean that's a different game too. I mean the rules are a lot different, but in that Super Bowl, the Ravens put up 30-something points.
Right.
They didn't score when they needed to.
Yeah, but a lot of that was defense. I mean, sack, fumble, touchdown, or interception, or whatever. I mean, a lot of that defense was putting up a lot of points.
True.
To help.
They had a lot of sport fields. Yeah, and they got a great kicker too.
Yeah,
I do got one question for you guys. Kind of diverting off but with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
So now that Aaron Rodgers is out, does Robert Saleh, if they have a bad season, does he get to come back as the coach? Because there's kind of the built-in, I won't say excuse, but we had the guy, we were supposed to do well, we lost him. If the season falls apart, does the coach get a pass?
I can only go by, and I'll say real fast, and it's kind of throwing the question back to you, Mike, is because Saleh was your defensive coordinator for 49ers, and he, to me, built that defense pretty damn well. And now he's the head coach in the Jets, and I'm seeing the same kind of formula for me, my opinion, because the defense is good. So I would say he should come back. This is my opinion.
Well, you got to look at it this way. Did Saleh, did he draft Zach Wilson?
Did he draft? I mean, he was the coach. Yeah, I mean, you could say he did. I mean, I think the GM, it was agreed upon. He was involved with the decision. I mean, it was all, fresh start, fresh quarterback.
That's the way I look at it. Who had the last? Yeah, who had the last say to say, draft Zach Wilson? You know what I mean? Because if that's the point, and then they don't make the playoffs, then you look back at that. It's like, well, you drafted Zach Wilson, we wouldn't be in this Aaron Rodgers predicament. If you know what I mean? If you did it a different way, you're out of here. That would be our boy Joe Douglas, who got the Eagles the Super Bowl when he was GM.
I mean, it was a group decision. It wasn't just like him. I mean,
I know. But then you got to use a scapegoat.
I mean, I think I agree with Jerry that he's building the right thing, especially on defense. But this is that kind of league. Where this was the season where he was kind of on the hot seat, and they loaded up to give him every weapon possible to win, and then especially Aaron Rodgers being the main weapon, and now that you lose it, do we go back and run it again next year? If we ever get a New York fan on, I'd love to talk to them and see what they think about that. But we kind of went through the same thing with Kyle a little bit, where we lost a quarterback, Jimmy G, and it was like a 4-12 season. And you were just kind of like, man, if Jimmy G goes down, what happens? And we had nothing behind him. So it's an interesting, question, about whether you keep the coach or do you think you go in a different direction? Because it could be a third year of having a losing season with the Jets. They haven't made the playoffs yet. So
Yeah.
Well, Jermaine, we got to get your buddy on then. That's all. So
Who's that?
the one that you were going to bring on today, right? Wasn't he a Jets fan?
Yeah, he was definitely a Jet fan, but but definitely, definitely.
Even later in the season, especially depending on how they're doing,
that's
losing.
what.
I'd like to know what they think about the coach.
That's why.
Coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is a great. Yeah, I like him.
People love him. Rex Ryan took. He's all
that's the one thing that San Fran did. I mean, as far as developing coaches and that, because I like D'Amico Ryans. I liked him as a player. I liked him as a coach.
Right.
So that's one thing I can give San Fran. And that's a shot to you, Mike. So.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, watch this transition. So let's talk about the 49ers. So, all right. So they blew out the Bucks, Mike. All right. It's the Bucks. Were they that good or were the Bucks just that bad?
You mean the Steelers?
Steelers, sorry.
That's right.
Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, right now it's just kind of like, the Steelers weren't what I thought they were. I thought they were going to be a little bit better, especially offensively, and they got shut down. I mean, they did play, I'll say, a good defense. Nice defense is good. And then Brock Purdy just, did his thing. I mean, he had a couple, I would say, lucky plays where he didn't turn the ball over that could have been a turnover. I mean, TJ Watt went a little crazy on him. But, the playmakers do what they did. CMC had his big run. Usually he's good for something like that. Ayuk had a really great day. There's a lot of expectations for him. It just looked like good football. I mean, I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Do you see, Mike? You guys have a pretty much vanilla schedule. I mean, you play the Rams next. I mean, come on.
Like genius.
Not really. I mean, it gets tougher. I mean, we play you guys. I mean, you play the Cowboys. You play Washington. I mean, they're going to play some tough teams, but starting out. I mean, the Rams beat the Sea Chickens like they was nothing. So I guess the Rams got a little something. I mean, can't deny them. I mean, they went out there and stomped them in their own home. So,
and it's a divisional game. So the Rams are going to be up to play this game. So I don't think it's going to be another 30 bird that you put up on the Steelers.
I will say, of all the division rivalry games that we have, the Niners have had the Rams numbers the last 8 times.
I know.
It has not been close. Other than that stupid playoff loss with Hart got the interception. The most important, loss that they had to them, but still in the regular season they've owned them pretty good. So
that one got under your skin.
Well, I give it to San Fran. As long as you keep it, as long as Brock Purdy, he's a quarterback, and you don't put it all on his hands, because like you said, you got CMC, and you got if Debo and Ayuk and Kittle can get stay where they are and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a dangerous offense. It is. It's a dangerous offense and stuff, and it all comes down to being healthy, and everybody could just that chemistry could come together and stuff. So I still don't like them, but I'm just
I think their defense is probably better than the Eagles right now, between Hargrave, Bosa, a lot of those guys.
I agree. I agree. I can.
Their defense is pretty good. All Purdy's got to do is just not make mistakes. He doesn't have to.
Exactly. You don't put it all on Purdy. You don't put it on Purdy. That's what happened last game. They didn't put it on Purdy. CMC ran all over the place. Ayuk, like you said, Mike, Ayuk had a good game. As long as you do that and stuff, and as long as it don't get out of hand, and then all of a sudden, if Purdy's got to, you got to put it on his shoulders and whatnot, because really, to be honest with you, I don't think Purdy hasn't been tested, but he really doesn't have to be, with that offense.
They had the one test. The one game last year, what was it? The Raiders game was a little bit back and forth. But because all defense just disappeared, and so they had to put a lot of points. But it still comes down to Purdy just getting the ball to somebody else to do all the work.
Exactly.
That's what I think that offense is built around. You don't have to scramble a whole bunch and run around or take on hits, and just you're not built that way. But just get the ball in the hands of Debo or Kittle and let them do the work, and that's all you got to do. Just keep doing that.
And that's something that Jimmy G never understood, I don't think. He tried to do too much. He's spinning around in a circle, trying to throw these wild passes or trying to jam it in between three players down the field. He didn't have to do that. He just had to be Jimmy and be accurate, you know.
Now you got to run it back who, if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Now you got a running back that takes the really load off that quarterback. Now, if Jimmy G was there with CMC, I think Jimmy G would be probably a better person.
Jimmy could do it. The only thing Jimmy issue was this deep ball, this the accuracy of pushing the ball down the field. Purdy doesn't hesitate to throw the ball, 30, 40 yards down the field to a receiver and let them try to make a play. Right. Jimmy kind of had a little bit more Kirk Cousins of, I'm not going to do that because the guy's got a guy on him and he might go in, maybe an interception. So I'm going to take the short, pass underneath.
But that's going to be the challenge for him with Davante Adams. Davante Adams stretches the field. So that's what I'm seeing with the Raiders. Like, you got to get Jimmy G's got to get the ball to Davante.
I mean,
it's going to be a problem.
4 targets.
That's what I'm saying.
29 yards.
Like, I mean, Jimmy's got to do it. And you just brought up a good point. He can't throw the long ball. Well, that's a problem for Las Vegas.
Yeah. Las Vegas is a pretty good running back though too, so they want to use. So that's the other piece of it.
Yeah.
Jacobs. Jacobs. All right, let's get to some predictions for this week. We picked like 6 games actually. So let's talk about the first one, Dakota and the Jets. Let's talk about that one first. Right, who you got?
It's no brainer for me, Jets.
All right, Mike.
Man,
I gotta write that down.
I hate to do it, man. I have to take Cowboys. I gotta take Dakota.
All right, Jermaine.
Yeah, same here. I mean, until I see something differently, let's see how the Jets come, without Aaron Rodgers, post Aaron Rodgers. I got to take Dallas.
Okay, I took the Jets.
As much as I would like to pick the Jets and hope that they would win, unfortunately, I think I got to take Dallas.
I feel what you do, Sal. I want the Jets to win too, but
I just don't think they're gonna have enough.
Yeah. Michael Parsons.
He's on another level, man.
I can see.
Hey, yeah, man. But I just think the Jets.
They got Gilmore
up defensively.
They got that secondary. They got that secondary Gilmore, and that's going to take a lot off of Diggs. That stuff. You just can't. I feel as though they got, and then their linebacker. Yeah, Dallas.
Who on the Jets can you mention right now? Do you think is going to cause a bad day for Dak Prescott? I mean, that's what I can't do. Like, I can easily say, Michael Parsons is going to be in the backfield all day harassing Zach Williams. Can't say anybody on the Jets comes to mind to me. It's like, the Cowboys got to account for this guy because he's going to be all over Dak Prescott all day. And that's the difference for me right now. Yeah. That's why I got to pick the Cowboys.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is really interesting because one of the teams in this game isn't that 0-2 thing. So Ravens and Bengals, right? Bengals could be 0-2 and be one of those, only 3 teams to win the Super Bowl thing. And a lot of people picked them this year, including our friend Sierra. But what do you think, guys? We'll start with Dre. Ravens and Bengals.
Bengals at home. Burrows knows he's got a rebound. Man, this is a tough one for me because I like the Ravens. I'm going to say Bengals because Joe Burrow's at home. He's got to win this game. I know it's a divisional game, but they're going to have to beat the Ravens from voting going 0-2.
All right, Mike.
I say Ravens, but I think it's going to be a sloppy game on both teams. I think it's Ravens. Bengals still seem to start out slow every season, so I think the slowness still continues for another week or 2.
But they got to speed it up. That's what I'm saying today.
Oh, they do. No doubt. Division's got better. They can't afford to get behind like in the past. But
right.
I think the Ravens somehow.
All right, Jermaine.
Oh, man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Bengals definitely got to win. Not to go to 0-2, and they always have a slow start for like the last 3 seasons. Wow. I am going to pick the Bengals. I think the Bengals is going to bring it. They're going to bring it today, and to show everybody that that we're the team to beat in the AFC. So yeah, I'm picking the Bengals.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore on this one. I'm gonna stick
Okay.
with Baltimore on that one. As much, I don't know. I just don't think the Bengals have it together yet. I think they just need another week or two, and they're gonna have their back against the wall. Question will be, can they come out of that? So let's see what happens. But all right, cool.
Yeah.
Next one, I'm sure Mike will have no opinion on, but McGenius and San Fran.
Yeah.
Start with you.
Who, me?
Yeah, Dre.
Oh, me. Sorry. San Fran.
San Fran. All right.
I have nothing to say. Just San Fran.
Mike, McGenius can pull a rabbit out of his hat.
No, yeah, San Fran.
All right, Jermaine, what do you got?
Yeah, San Fran. I suppose. You know what I mean? I just feel as though, yeah, Mike, you're right. I mean, you had San Fran's had the Rams number for the last number of years and stuff. So, I think it's going to be closer than you think. But San Fran's going to pull it out.
I think if Cooper Kupp was playing, I might take the upset just because it is McGenius, and I think they're due to win because you can only beat the same team so many times in a row, and something crazy is going to happen. So
that's true.
But without Kupp, that's just going to be tough. I got San Fran. I think it's just going to be too hard.
When is Kupp going to be back? He's out for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah,
at least 4. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it could be longer.
It could be longer.
Oh wow! What is this, hamstring, right?
I think hamstring, yeah. And I think he's up there in age too. It's kind of one of them deals, like you were saying, Rodgers too. The older you get, harder to heal.
Oh, he's that old. I didn't know that.
I think he's in his. I think he's been around for a while. It's just you never really heard about him.
Yeah, true.
Until recent years. But I think he's 30.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got 2 Eagles coaches going at it. Doug Peterson, Andy Reid. We got Jacksonville, KC, Dre. Who you got?
KC.
You got KC.
They're gonna, from what they got beat by Detroit, they're gonna go all out.
All right, Mike.
Oh boy, you know what? I think this will be my upset special. So I'm going to pick the Jags. In a close one. I think this is. I'm not saying Kansas City is done or anything like that. I think this is where people start to panic and start saying, "Oh, are they done?" But this is going to be that game they're going to lose, and then all the questions will come up, and Mahomes will be the one to tell everybody to relax. But no, I think Jacksonville, after losing to them last year in the playoffs, where they had opportunities and just kind of let them slide through. I think this year they'll find a way to come through in the regular season and get some revenge. So
wait a minute. I might flip that. Is Travis Kelce back?
Kelce is playing. That was the almost reason why I was going to go with Chiefs because he's playing. But I think he's on the pitch count though. I think they're still kind of limiting him a little bit of how much he'll participate. But I'll still go with the upset. Why not?
I'll stay with Kansas City. Well, that's interesting. 2-0 Jaguars. Wow.
Yeah, I'm saying with you. I mean, Mike. I mean, you really put them on the map last year. Because I was laughing, you know what I mean? With Jack, you know what I mean? And then, then this comes out. Then, I always liked Doug Peterson. Yeah, he gave us a Super Bowl and stuff like that. I think he's going to be prepared. I feel, is it in Kansas City or is it?
No, it's in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's even the better. I think Jacksonville. I'm with you. The upset, because I'm telling you, this thing is coming back with these receivers and all that stuff. They're going to miss. You're going to see they're missing Tyreek Hill because nobody's not stretching the field. Jacksonville shouldn't be afraid of their receivers besides TK, But it's definitely Jackson. I feel as though Jacksonville's going to pull it out, and then that panic mode it's going to start to hit. Now you're going to see the old Andy Reid. That you're going to look at him, and all of a sudden it's just, you don't have no receivers. You don't have no receivers.
Yeah.
I wonder what the weather's like in that game. Huh? Jacksonville gets hot. Like a lot of people complain or say Jacksonville is hot and humid and Tuesday to camp up and pass out in that stadium early in the year. So I'm curious what it's like today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm with you guys. When Mike said it, even before that, I was thinking Jacksonville on this one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you said it. Yep.
I don't think Mahomes is tested on the road still, Jermaine. We talked about it. I don't think he's tested on the road yet, especially playoff time. So,
wow, the Chiefs 0-2.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, two interesting teams because Tua just blew it up last week. Miami and New England. So this is an interesting division matchup because New England, I think they played the Eagles tough. They were disciplined. They were a steady team. They were well coached. You could tell they weren't making sloppy penalties, and they were just solid. They didn't miss by much. That guy makes the catch, gets that second foot in bounds at the end. They're rolling there. So, they got better coordinators, but Miami is tough. So, Dre, who you got?
So, believe it or not, because I looked at this a long time ago, during the Brady's era, his era, Miami always got their number. I don't know why, but they do. And now we got a Miami team that's got defense. They got Tua. He stays healthy. Miami's on the road. New England's at home. I'm taking Miami.
All right. What do you got, Mike?
I got New England. I will say, in the Eagles game, they started out sloppy. They looked like they weren't well coached, and then they kind of settled down, and then things started coming together. But I think New England. I think they'll play a lot better than what showed up. The Chargers. They're not the same. Different caliber of defense than what the Chargers got.
Yeah. All right, Jermaine.
Well, Bill Belichick always has that knack to take out the other team's best offensive weapon. I mean, then Tyreek Hill went the hell off last week and all that stuff. So Tyreek Hill won't be an X factor. I don't know what Jalen Waddle's numbers were last week, but just like we talked about last week, it's that you knew it was going to be an ugly game against Philly, because Belichick I just feel as though he just knows how to coach up a defense and put everybody in the right positions and all that stuff and whatnot. All right. Wow. It's some good games this week.
On this one, huh?
I'm really stuck because you're just looking at the pros and cons of both teams and whatnot. I still feel as though, like, what Dre was saying, Miami always has New England's number. So I'm going to take Miami because Miami still, if you take Tyreek out and let somebody else beat you, you still got Jalen Waddle on the other side. So I have Miami pulling this one out on the road. And that should solidify them to saying, okay, that's just bury New England because they ain't nothing anyway. I mean they are something, but with Bill Belichick, but let's just move on for that era and whatnot, that Tom Brady era.
I like to see New England's defensive line against Miami's offensive line. Miami's offensive line was supposed to be the thing that was going to hold them back. I don't think they really got a good test last week, so I think this would be a good test for them this week.
Yeah, so I got Miami only because Bill Belichick, if you look at his history, though, he does have trouble against running quarterbacks, and obviously Tua is going to run. So I think Miami is going to. I think Miami
better be careful.
Yeah, he better be really careful.
Be careful if you talk about your running quarterback.
And it's a prime game Sunday night, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Is it Sunday night? 8:20. Yeah. On NBC.
Yep, it's prime time tonight. Yep.
So just real fast, so let everybody know from the 5 games we picked last week, we picked Dallas Giants, Bills versus Jets, Browns versus Bengals, Pittsburgh, San Fran, Eagles, and Pats. And Mike is 5-0. Jermaine is 5-0. I'm 3-2, and Sal's 2-3.
Yeah.
So
that Eagles game killed me.
It did. It did. And I got no comment about that one.
I almost had it though. It was close.
You did.
Almost
it was two teams.
Almost is not.
It was not.
Yeah.
Mike took the spread. Mike took the spread in the parlay. He took it.
Eagles, Eagles go by that. Eagles go by that whole Rocky theme. So had them on the ropes. Balboa's on the ropes. But
I sent that text message. I said, "Man, I had the perfect parlay, and then this Eagles game is going to cost me I don't know how much money." And then the next thing, the very next play, Jalen Hurts runs and that fumble happens. I was like, "Oh yes, I'm gonna get my buddy." Yeah, they did nothing, and then they got the ball back again just to rub it in, because then they did nothing again. I was like, "Come on, man, 2 more chances. Y'all can't get a 2-point conversion or a field goal or something for me." Oh man, I was mad. But oh well.
Those are the 5 games for this week, so we'll see if Sound can rebound.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Catch y'all.
Well, we pretty much picked all the same teams, correct? So we all win. You still the same.
I picked some different ones. That's the reason why I did pick them, but
yeah. I picked the Jets.
You picked the Chiefs.
Picked Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then vice flip. We all picked Miami, and Mike picked New England. It's split between Ravens and Bengals.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do last week, is pick some different teams too.
Yeah, you try to pick up. Yeah, you try to pick up. Yeah,
trying to pick up something.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick. So next week we have a great guest on. If you've never heard him before, his name is Ross. He's been a great guest in the past. He's been on NFL teams. He's worked for a couple NFL teams, and we've had some great conversation with him. So he's going to be on next week at 11 o'clock. If you're able to tune in, it's always a great conversation with him. And always, we appreciate all of our listeners here. We got the, we'll have to get to the, the game next week, because we are, believe it or not, running out of time today. Real deal next week. In the meantime, guys, quickly, final thoughts on the week. We'll start with Dre.
Let's see. So we did say predictions, but looking at some of the Sunday games, I really want to see Green Bay and Falcons. Falcons, had a real big game last week. They won. Green Bay, Jordan Love. How they doing without Aaron Rodgers? They're doing pretty good. So you got 2 teams that are both 1-0. That's one of my teams I'm keeping my eye on for that. And then just overall, man, there's a lot of good games here. Look at the Washington and Denver one as well. Let's see how Washington, they're 1-0. They got to try to keep it up. And Denver's 0-1. And if we go 0-2 with who, Russell Wilson, I don't know, man.
He had a good game. He had a pretty good game last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But as a fan or whatever, you look at numbers, you got to win, man. I don't care. You got to win.
Yeah.
So, that's my thoughts.
Jermaine still got the 3 draft picks for him, Russell Wilson? All right, Mike. What do you got, Mike?
So I guess I'm just getting old, because I tried to stay up last night for the Colorado State game, and I couldn't stay up. I fell asleep in the overtime, but
it was exciting.
They were supposed to boat race Colorado State, and that turned into definitely a slugfest. Definitely some cheap shots and stuff like that too. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely entertaining, and congrats to Colorado, and it's not going to be overnight success. Even though they won, you can definitely see they are going to play some tough teams. They're going to take some bumps and bruises, but it's definitely interesting.
Prime time. All right, Jermaine.
Nothing really. I mean,
he's just happy. He's like, yeah, they're 2-0. Whatever.
Nothing.
I mean, just relax today, and back to the grind of the week. I mean, it's just going to be, with me, it's just going to be an ugly week this week, so, but just to relax today and watch the games and all that stuff. But yeah, what you said, Dre, that Green Bay and Atlanta game, that's very intriguing, where they actually, both teams are at, because this could be the next thing, Green Bay and Atlanta could put themselves back on the map, especially, with Jordan Love with Green Bay and stuff. So,
yeah. Well, then no Aaron Jones today for Green Bay, so
that's what I'm saying, man. I think
that's
Atlanta
very intriguing. Yeah, that's a very intriguing.
Yeah,
Atlanta
I got
some
Atlanta.
confidence.
I think Atlanta gonna win.
You think Atlanta's gonna? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That look, that's what I've been hearing down here. You talking about the surprise team, Atlanta. Seeing that I'm down here and everything. Yeah. That's if Atlanta pulls it out, now I got to hear all this nonsense,
Yeah, that's what I hear living in Washington, right? Sam Howell this, Sam Howell that.
Yeah.
Don't start, man. You get half all excited.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, really. Yeah.
No, with me, I just appreciate all you guys. It's fun as usual. I appreciate the the time today and talking about the games. A lot of good games coming on today. So just grateful to be chilling out and watching them after like a crazy week, like Jermaine said. It's definitely nice to be able to sit back today and relax a little bit and do it, especially when it's gorgeous up here. It's like 70 degrees and sunny. So we got a real nice day here right now. I don't know what it's like near you, Jermaine, but it's nice here in Philly today. So yeah, man. So all right, guys. Well, again, enough said crew at gmail.com. All our social media profiles are up there. We're on X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it now. Facebook, all the usual, Instagram, and keep an eye out for some promos this week for Ross coming out talking about the Colts and some other teams next week. And we'll catch you all on the flip side. All right, guys.
Yo, peace out. Later.